Hello fellow tryhards, it's Mad Buddha back again. This video we're going to be taking a deep look into Warhead Junction, starting with the basic layout. Warhead Junction has three different kinds of camps. There's the Raven and Goliath camp on top side, which pushes down top lane. There's the two Hellion camps on the bottom side that push down bottom lane. And there are of course two bosses on the map, one in top and one in bottom, that push down those lanes respectively. The map mechanic on this map are nuclear warheads. You can channel for a short duration to pick up a warhead and then use it again to drop a warhead on enemy fortifications, or anywhere on the map for that matter. Keep in mind that the middle of a warhead does more damage than the outer edges. That means that different uses of warheads will have different results. Popular uses of warheads include dropping them here to delete an entire enemy wall, or using them directly on top of forts and keeps. 3 warheads will kill a keep outright, and 3 warheads post 18 minutes nearly finish a core from 100% with shields. You can also use warheads as zoning tools in team fights. If your team lacks boss control, using a warhead on top of the capture point can deter enemy teams from standing there and stealing the boss from you. In order to have a deeper understanding of warhead strategy, let's quickly talk about the map timers for the map mechanic, the warheads. Warheads will spawn every match at 2 minutes, and they go in cycles of 2 and 4 warheads, alternating back and forth. Where the warheads spawn is completely random, but on the first time, there will always be 2 warheads. After the last warhead that has spawned is captured, there will be a time delay of 3 minutes before the next round of warheads spawn. Warheads have a channel time, and Warhead Junction is a particularly huge map. This means that taking camps right before warheads spawn is extremely effective. Any camp that is pushing during warheads has the chance of getting a lot of value out of an enemy wall or fortification. This means that your opponents have to make a choice between clearing the camp and fighting over the warheads. If they go to clear the camp, you are effectively up 1 person more than the enemy team for the warhead cap, which means it will most likely go in your favor. Another part of basic strategy for Warhead Junction is that the bosses on this map are both the easiest to take in the entire game of Heroes of the Storm, and also arguably the most powerful. Their siege potential with their banelings, wave clear, and the inability to trail the boss and kill it because of the slime trails they leave behind make them extremely hard to deal with for an opposing team. They are also easy to take because you are usually able to clear a boss with only 1 or 2 characters even early on in the game. The boss will only attack you for a short amount of time before it burrows and spawns banelings. All of the banelings are dodgeable, meaning that during this time while attacking the boss, you will take no damage. This is why this boss is so easy to take. Twin Swords Varian, Illidan, and many other characters can solo a boss outright at nearly every level. You never have to use a warhead right when you get it. Sometimes when you get a warhead, there won't be anything that you can use it on. Either all the forts are down, or it's too dangerous to push to a keep. Don't try and run through the fog in order to place a warhead though. Usually what happens is that even if you get your warhead off, the other team will collapse and kill you, giving them an instant 5 versus 4 advantage. This allows them to take a boss for free or push on your keep with their own warheads. The value that you will usually get off of using your warhead is extremely low. Wait until the opportune moment. This is usually the part in the video where I talk about how the terrain across the map affects the ways in which you are going to be team fighting. However, the map mechanic on this map is very spread out and often spawns in such numbers across the map that you're going to find yourself in more skirmishes than you ever are going to find yourself in large team fights. Most team fights that you will end up taking will be right next to each other's keeps or forts, a fight that you end up getting into in almost every game and plays out exactly how it would on every other map. As such, there is only one place on this map where the terrain is unique enough that it warrants us talking about it, and that is at the topside boss. Topside boss is interesting in a death pit as it only has 4 ways of getting in, and they're all tiny chokes, and the chokes that face the lane here with their vents make them particularly dangerous. Whichever team can get into boss first automatically has the control of the open area in the boss. However, whichever team is not inside the boss pit first automatically has control over the open area outside the boss. That means that whichever team can force their way through the chokes once the fight breaks out is almost always going to win. However, once you fight underneath boss, because you are actively fighting an enemy team, you might find it hard to dodge the massive amount of banelings that the boss spews out on top of it. Another great point to bring up about this boss is that because it is not a giant open area like its southern brethren, a nuke dropped in this area will be the size of the entire place, meaning that anyone who chooses to fight inside the boss is guaranteed to get hit by a nuke. As such, trying to stand on top of a cap point is almost certain death to any team that has a nuke fired off against them, but this works in both ways. Since there's enough channel time, you can frequently find teams launching off 2 nukes apiece and end up getting a double ace. This has actually happened to me more than once. That being said, once you actually are inside the boss pit, it's nice and open. And once you're actually outside the boss pit, it's nice and open, and it's really only the chokes that give anybody any trouble. So when assailing this boss, watch out for the baneling and watch out for the choke points, and you'll be just fine. This has been a deeper look at the map Warhead Junction. This video was sponsored by Nihilism Gaming. Check them out at nihilismgaming.com, where they offer Heroes of the Storm coaching lessons.